Time that we address this track wrestling issue. So what I have in front of you here is my page for my girls team because it's easier to manipulate. I don't have that many girls. So, but to get on to this thing right here, first thing you got to do is you got to log on to trackwrestling.com. And when you go to trackwrestling.com, you'll see icons up here at the top. And the one you want to go to is Manage. Click on Manage. And then go to the icon that says Manage Season Teams. And then you'll select the season and the team. Like you'll say 2016-17 girls, 2016-17 boys. Of course, next year it'll be 2017-18. And then once you clicked on Manage Season Teams, it's going to ask you to select your season and team, boys or girls. Then it'll tell you to select governing body. You're going to select UIL, Texas. And then when that opens up, you go to where it says go to my account. When you click on my account, there will be a place on the left-hand side there that says sign in. And right there is where you're going to type in your username and your password that was sent from UIL. Usually that's sent in around September, sometime early October. Once you get that done in there, you'll see this screen will pop up. This is the screen that we're on here now. And the screen here, you can do a lot of different cool things with it to figure out what you want to look at exactly. But let's figure out how to add somebody to the roster, because before season starts, you want to help out your trainer and put everyone in the roster. So you can import the roster from an Excel spreadsheet if you want to, if you have an Excel spreadsheet. But we're just going to go here to add wrestler. And what you need to do is you're going to fill in all this stuff right here. And once you fill this in, I have no idea what name to put, but we're going to do it this way here. And then it's going to ask you for a lot of these different prompts here. It wants you to put everything in here as much as you can. But some of the major ones it's going to want you to put in there is your skill level, your varsity level, JV, whatever, gender, grade. And then you just click on add. And then that says the most active value for weight. So you want to know what kind of weight they're going to be at. And then you click add. And there they are right here on this line right here. Okay. Now, this is red right now because they're not eligible because they haven't had certification. You can put people on here even though they're not certified. So when they go certified, this will go green right here in the middle of the eligibility. It will turn green. Okay. So that's easy enough on how you import a wrestler or add a wrestler to your roster. Every wrestler that is going to weigh in should be on this roster, but if they are not eligible, then they will not be able to be put on your weigh-in sheet, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Now, let's say with this girl here that I made a mistake. I'll just click on the name, and I can change the mistakes in here. If I found out she was really a sophomore, not a freshman, I can add the email, hometown, all this other stuff if they want me to do all this in here. I just hit save and it goes back to there. If this person quits on me before they certify, I just click on the X and I have to type in remove because they don't want you to make sure you do delete somebody on accident. And then now the wrestler is gone. Okay, that's how you manage your roster. It's not hard at all. It's just depending upon, it's time consuming depending upon how much you put in there. Now we're going to go to adding schedule in there because this is where you base your weigh-in sheets with. Okay, and when you come to this page here, normally it'll be blank. This is our meets from last season for my girls team. But let's say we want to add an event. You want to put your whole schedule in here at the very beginning of the year once your schedule is finalized. Add event, and you just follow the prompts. Event type, is it a single, dual meet, tournament, individual? What level is it? Name of the event. And then date. So they want you to put in, what date's going to happen, and you can end at the same time. Host team, if we're going to host it, you put it on there. If not, you just put other. If you put another team, what happened? You'll say Texas Girls, next, and then it'll tell you there's a meet that day called the Warrior Duels, but we're going to do a new event, and then that's it. And then there it goes, shows up down here as Bob's Meet down here. Okay, so, and it says it's on the 9th of June and so on. And then that's how easy it is. You just go back up to add event and keep adding your events until you get through your whole schedule. Okay. Now, the hardest part, the part where people keep messing up, is weigh-ins. This icon here, the blue icon, the blue scale right here, is your scale that says, I have not done the weigh-in sheet for this yet. I have not committed it. If it's committed, it'll be green like these right here. So I'm going to click on the blue scale, and then I'm just going to follow the prompts. I'm going to say add weigh-in. I'm going to click on the names of the girls who are going to weigh in. You want to hit command click on a Mac to select different ones, or you can just click and drag over if all of them are going to do it. Consecutive pound allowance. If there's no pound allowance, you don't need to put anything there. Then click add, and here's your weigh-in sheet. Now, it wants you to save the form before you print it, but if I go to print here, there is a sheet that I'm going to print, and I'm going to take me to my dual meets and wherever else I need to go. Usually for tournaments, this is already turned in because you enter the kids online through Track Wrestling, so you don't really need to bring this with you. But this is what you'll print out. But you don't really necessarily have to do that. But what you can do is you can bring this with you, either in the form of an iPod or an iPad, and or a laptop, and you can type in the weights actually as they weigh in here, and then what you'll do right here, so say weighed 102, 119, almost whatever, then you hit commit, and then you have to type the word commit to make sure that you're not just committing it just on accident. So now it's committed. So it says the form was committed on 6/5/2017. And then I can print it out and keep it for my records, or I can just keep it here for my records. And I'll click on the red dot up here and get out of it. And then I'm going to hit Command R on my Mac. It's going to refresh my schedule page. I keep wanting to put that ad on there. And my blue scale icon turned to green, which means as committed. The problems that we find, and here's the weights here that we have. The problems that we find is that people forget to hit the commit button at this point. And if you don't hit commit right here, and your scale stays blue, then the girls or the wrestlers that show up the next time on that screen for the weigh-in will not be there because they have not been committed from the weigh-in before. And the way the track wrestling works is they have a decline as to how far they can come down in weight management. So you click on weight management, and right here it tells them what their weight was when they certified, how much body fat, their minimum wrestling weight, minimum wrestling class, weight class, and so on here. And then when you click on the WLP, the weight loss plan, it'll go to here and it'll tell them at what day can they be at what weight. And if they weigh in heavier, so it's like this girl here on this date on December 7th last year, she could have weighed in at 112.61, but she weighed in at 118. So that reset her weight decline to 118.24 the next day, 117.98, and so on. So anytime you weigh in, it adjusts it. So down here, when it's in red, that means she's too low. So even if she weighed in at 110, she couldn't go 110 because by the weight that she's supposed to be at, her eligible weight, she can only weigh 119. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, please post them on our Facebook page. Other than that, thank you for everything, and have a good season.